Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dietrich and this is the all-new Acura ZDX A-Spec, and it is Acura's first entry into the very crowded EV field. So today we're going to try to figure out if this stylish and roomy mid-sized SUV does have a place amongst the electric vehicle offerings out there in the market right now. We will start by looking at the styling. We will talk about the EV facts and figures on the powertrain. We will measure out the cargo space, we'll look at the passenger room, and we will talk about the interior features and the safety features on this car. And as always, if some of that sounds good and some of it doesn't, check the slidey bar down below to find what you want to see the most. So we're going to start with the styling on this Acura ZDX. It is a two-box profile, ostensibly a mid-sized SUV, although the roofline is slightly low for an SUV, so it is giving sort of wagon vibes, which I don't mind. I think the profile of the vehicle does look good. One interesting thing, it is an A-Spec model, and if you know your Acura lineup, the A-Spec models typically come with all blacked out trim, but on the ZDX A-Specs, you do have a chrome stripe along the top of the window graphic on the side of the car, as well as this sort of silver bit down below to give you kind of a two-tone look. It does look nice, but it's not the traditional A-Spec look from Acura. What is traditional is the lighting treatment. You have the chicane daytime running lights and the jewel eye LED headlights in the front. And you also have the illuminated seamless Pentagon grille. The Pentagon grille is the Acura front end trademark, and it does look very cool with the illumination on it, and that is standard on all ZDXs. You also have the chicane LED taillights as well. That matches up with the rest of the current Acura lineup. So Acura did get their styling touches in there, even though this platform is shared with a few other vehicles. And overall, I do think it's a very nice looking car. If you want the contrasted black roof, you have to move up to the ZDX Type S. And if you get the Type S with the performance wheel and tire package, then you also get blacked out 22-inch wheels. But whichever ZDX you choose, they are all very nice looking vehicles. Now we're going to have a look under the hood and talk about the electric vehicle components and statistics here. And yes, there are mechanical bits under this front hood. This car does not have a frunk like some other EVs do. So this is just the base model ZDX A-Spec. So it is a single motor rear wheel drive EV, which technically makes it the first rear-wheel drive Acura since the original NSX. We have a 102 kilowatt-hour battery on board, 313-mile estimated range, and the single motor puts out 358 horsepower and 324 torque. We have 90 mpge combined. So overall, we do have a pretty capable electric powertrain, even on the base model. It is available with dual motors in the A-Spec all-wheel drive and also in the Type S. The Type S does have 500 horsepower if you want to go fast in an EV. But on both of those cars, the battery pack is exactly the same, so it actually gets a little bit less range when you go to the dual motor models. It should be noted that Acura advises only charging the vehicle to 80% to leave range for the power generated from regenerative braking. So that is their advice. Whether or not you take it is kind of up to you as a consumer. Now we are going to measure out the cargo space. So let's open the power rear liftgate. Get the laser tape measure out and do just that. The length of the rear cargo area from the bottom of the back seat to the absolute rear of the cargo area, 3 feet. The width of the rear of the cargo area at the very back, from there to there, is 4 feet and 6 inches. The width of the cargo area at its narrower point, in between the wheel wells, from there to right there, 3 feet and 6 inches. The height of the cargo area is 2 feet and 3 inches. And if I push right here and right here, fold down the back seats, the length of the cargo area with the back seats folded down is approximately 5 feet and 11 inches. And I say approximately because that is the measurement to that back seat right there. So it does depend on where you have that set. The load floor is almost flat. The back seats go up at a little bit of an angle, but there's not much of a hump there, so it is a useful cargo area in the ZDX. And if you need to lift something into the back of your ZDX, you will need to lift it 2 feet and 7 inches off of the ground. And if we open this up, we do have a nice deep cargo well right here. You can put some secret stuff. And you could probably flat pack 4 or 5 keys right there. No spare tire because these are self-sealing Michelin tires on this car, just like an MDX Type S. So that is the cargo area in the all-new Acura ZDX. Now we're gonna have a look at the passenger space, and for this measurement I use myself. I'm 6'5", so let's see if I can sit behind myself in a ZDX. Okay, so the answer to this question is definitely yes. If I get in the front, I've got plenty of leg room. I'm sitting up straight, but I do have enough knee room. And if I get in the back, good knee room, good head room, good room overall, even decent space behind me in my natural driving position. Very roomy interior in the ZDX, and we do have air vents, and it looks like we have 2 USB-C charging ports for our backseat passengers. So very modern and roomy and functional interior in this vehicle. You got to give it points for that. Now we're going to move into the interior and talk about the convenience features in here. And this is just a base model ZDX A-Spec, but even though it is a base model with no options whatsoever, it is still very, very well equipped in here. The first thing you will notice is the Milano leather seats. They are 12-way power operated on both the front driver and passenger side seat, and they are heated and cooled as well. We do have a heated steering wheel to go along with the heated seats, and it is also power operated with power tilt and telescope. Ambient LED cabin lighting is also standard, and you can have a dual color selection with different colors for the upper part of the dash and the lower part of the cabin at night, so you can light the car up in various different colors to suit your mood or favorite sports team or whatever it is. An 18-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system is standard as well. I have to be honest, that sounds more impressive than the stereo actually is. The Bang & Olufsen stereo in this car is very good, but it's not like Bang & Olufsen of old where it was a $6,000 option on like an Audi A8 or an S-Class Mercedes and it was the most amazing stereo in the world. This one's just very good and no better than that, but it is standard, so you don't have to pay extra for it. That's good. You control whatever you're listening to through that Bang & Olufsen sound system on the 11.3-inch color touchscreen. So we do have Google Maps in here, and it does work very well. You have voice controls, and if you tell it to go to a particular destination that's far away, get directions to Lake Tahoe Pizza Company in South Lake Tahoe, California.
Lake Tahoe Pizza Company is 8 hours, 19 minutes from your location by car in light traffic.
See, what it did there was at first it told me it was 8 hours and 19 minutes, but now it has adjusted to include when it thinks we will have to stop to charge. So I have 3 stops to charge, and it looks like that's going to be an hour and 20 minutes approximately added to the journey. And so it's a 9-hour and 48-minute drive. But if you are going to do a road trip in your ZDX, that is a very handy feature. The only problem is you only get the data for free for the Google Maps for the first 3 years. After that, you do have to pay for it. But thankfully, when the 3-year free trial for the data expires, you do still have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So you could just use similar features from your smartphone at that point if you're watching this in 3 years' time and thinking of buying one of these used. You will also get an 11-inch digital gauge cluster right in front of you. It does look pretty nice, and you have a few different views that you can look at on that screen, including one for just the state of the battery and the speed, one for the maps, and one for what the safety systems and the adaptive cruise control on this car are doing. And you also have a radio. Don't forget, Sirius XM satellite radio is standard, as well as FM and AM radio, so you can still listen to old school terrestrial radio in your new school EV. Now we'll go over the safety features that are standard on this vehicle, and it does have quite a few. The AcuraWatch on the new ZDX A-Spec comes standard with the forward collision alert and the automatic emergency braking that can also see pedestrians to try to prevent or lessen the severity of a front collision. Lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise control are standard. You also have reverse automatic braking and rear cross traffic alert and rear cross traffic braking. So if it thinks you're going to back into a wall, it can stop you with the parking sensors. And if it thinks that a car's coming sideways in the parking lot and you're going to back into them, it will hit the brakes to try to prevent that as well. Lane change alert and blind zone steering assist are also standard. The lane change alert is the little light that lights up in the rearview mirror when there is a car on your flank. That's commonly known as blind spot monitoring. And the blind zone steering assist can actually correct the steering for you if the car thinks that you are going to merge into the car on your side. And of course, we have parking sensors front and rear, automatic high beams, and traffic sign recognition, so you'll know what the speed limit is when you're driving your fast, quiet new electric vehicle. Thank you so much for watching my video on this Acura ZDX. I do think that this car is worthy of your consideration if you are thinking about buying an electric vehicle. It does look very nice. It has a very high level of standard equipment, even on this entry-level A-Spec model, and it drives great and gets decent range. So hey, what else do you want out of life when it comes to an EV? If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye-bye.